What does summer decor look like to you? For me, it really depends on the time of summer. It kind of changes. My summer has seasons, essentially. During July, I like to decorate more with patriotic vibes, of course, because of July 4th, and this year it's the 250th anniversary of America, which is super special. Usually I would go full on out and add an American flag behind me, drape some on my mantles. This year, I am doing a little bit more subtle patriotic touches throughout my house. Today, I am going to have you join me as I decorate my dining room table in subtle patriotic vibes. My name's Alicia. I'm from thriftyandchic.com. Why don't you join me?
First step is to soften up this table with this beautiful vintage crochet tablecloth. I guess it might have been that I have found. I think it was maybe for like $3 or $4. And it just works so perfectly here. Yes, it is too small for my table, but I don't care. And then I'm going to add some vintage stoneware into the center. I'm trying to decide how I want this to be played. This is my biggest piece. I decided to put it on the end. We'll see what I end up doing here, but I love the markings on these, and I feel like that just is like Americana to me. So it's a perfect subtle way to bring in some American patriotic decor. And then these books, I found my blue books, and this book happened to have a beautiful red like pages on it, and so I thought that was perfect for the occasion. The red, white, and blue we have here now in a very subtle way. I'm going to add some more ironstone and a few more stoneware pieces to this mix just to kind of create a gathering of sorts. I wanted definitely to add brass. I don't know, I think it reminds me of, like, the tops of the older, flags. So, the brass candlesticks came into play here as well, and this beautiful enamel, crock that I found recently, that was, I think, $3 or $4 as well. It goes for, like, $40 online. Anyway, it has a perfect blue and red on it too, and I'm just kind of filling in the gaps here where I feel like something needs to be. And then in this big, huge crock, I couldn't leave it like that. And so I added this beautiful faux stems that I got from Hobby Lobby. It wasn't enough just for the white. Actually, I really love them, but I didn't want to go and get more. So I went into my backyard, into my boxwoods, and literally just started cutting away. They're overgrown anyway. So it was perfect to have this be used in this. So I filled in the gaps of these sad, poorly, sparsely looking, I guess, flowers and added the boxwoods into there as well. And I thought that that looked a lot better and a lot more full. It turned out so good. I couldn't just leave the boxwoods in there. I felt like something else was still missing. So now I'm just filling in the gaps with more boxwood. My poor tree, luckily it is overgrown, but I did cut a lot off of it doing this today. And just to kind of finish it out, I made sure to go in the back as well. The front is beautiful, but the back's good too. You have to look good from the back. And now for the place settings, I use these rattan chargers. I actually didn't initially use them, but it needed it. These beautiful blue plates that I found online, which I'll link to in the description below. They are just so pretty, as well as these scalloped plates, these little salad or dessert plates, if you wish. And the striped blue, I wanted striped blue to be a little bit more subtle, but I ended up using a red striped ribbon to tie in the red for the patriotic kind of 4th of July subtlety with this. And so I tied a bow with this beautiful ribbon. I will link all of these once again in the description so you guys could check it out there. And then to tie everything else in, I added a little sprig of boxwood in each one of these. And I thought they just turned out so cute. Really, without the rattan chargers, I have played around with it without them, and it felt like something was missing. So if your table ever feels like something's missing, add a different color or texture somewhere throughout the table. And in this case, it was these chargers. I did not have enough blue plates. As you see, I have eight, setting of eight, and I only had six blue plates. I found these really pretty red ones for $1 each at a garage sale. And then I just put the scallop plate on top of it. And then I'm adding this other really cute ironstone dessert plate on top of that I got, I think for like Valentine's Day or Christmas a long time ago, but they work. And this is actually perfect subtle for the July vibes right here. So those are two place settings are on the heads of the table. And then I added these pink glasses. I bought these pink glasses for a gift and I meant to return them because I found cheaper ones somewhere else and then they got lost in my stash and I didn't ever return them. And so they worked perfect here. They kind of have that like, reddish hue. So they worked well with this whole thing. So add pink if you need. It is a perfect subtleness. And then I'm just finishing things off with those napkins. And of course, you have to light a candle. And yes, it does not look from like good from this angle, but I did move those flowers out of the way. That flame is not near those flowers, although it looks very close. And so to finish off the table, I found this beautiful throw from TJ Maxx or Home Goods. I mean, they're the same store essentially. And it had the really cute pattern with the red, white, and blue as well. And then to keep it more subtle on the heads of the table, but still cozy, I put a neutral blanket on it as well as a pillow just to draw more attention to the table and not so much to the outside of the table. And so there you have it. I hope you had some inspiration from this. Not everything has to be American flags, throw in some little subtle decor here and there with just red, white, and blue, or use like baby blues or teals and pinks. And that gives a really good subtle vibe for patriotic decor this season.